Star Wars is one of my favorite multimedia franchises of all time.
That's great.
I've seen the movies a bunch of times, and
And that is exactly why I wanted to do this video, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am predominantly a video game channel, but I do have a Star Wars crowd in my audience, and I do have an ongoing Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars as of the posting of this video, so sit back and enjoy and let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with what I have not seen, so I'm gonna go with this holiday special first of all. So I had not heard of this until John Tron spoke of it in a video, in one of his Starcade video where he talks about Star Wars games and whatnot. Basically, I have not sought it out because, well, I don't remember if he showed it or not, but if he did, I did not have any interest in watching it basically. But now moving on to Ewok Adventures. I mean, Ewoks are cute and cuddly and all, but if John Tron mentioned these two, I don't remember. And if he did, well, I completely forgot about it to the point of not knowing they exist. So I've not seen those either. And then Clone Wars. I mean, I remember when this movie first came out, I saw the movie poster for it, and I don't know, there's something about it being animated that did not appeal to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like anime and animations. I like animations, period. But then after some time has passed and that movie got low reviews, I still have not seen it. I've seen a few episodes of the 3D CGI show on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus now, but I intend to watch more of it, but I haven't quite watched a whole lot of it yet. But moving on, let's see. Now starting with what I have seen. I'm gonna put episode 9 in D tier because, I mean, I have only seen this movie once, and that was in the theater, and I have not rewatched it since. The only time I watched it was opening night at the theater. Wasn't very good. I don't remember what was so average about it. I mean, honestly, it's a movie I keep forgetting that existed until somebody brings it up. But then, now Last Jedi. This is a weird one for me. I mean, it was a pretty divisive one when it came out. I mean, I've seen it. Well, I haven't decided where to put that one yet, but I've seen it several times, and I still don't know what to think of it. I mean, I've even discussed with a friend who is an avid Star Wars fan, and he doesn't know what to think of it either, actually. And, well, I mean, he wished for more originality because it kind of kept borrowing from the original trilogy, but then when there was original stuff, I mean, he would say it's weird for Star Wars, and I remember being off-putted by the casino part in this movie, and yeah, I mean, on one hand, as an action movie, I mean, it's like up here. As a straight-up action movie, forgetting the story, I think it's one of the best. And I mean, there were some visually pleasing moments. I mean, heck, I would say there are some fantastic wallpaper moments that would look good on a computer monitor. But story though? Yeah, story would be like down here though. Cause I remember not being too pleased with the developments of this storyline. Like Luke Skywalker had a very controversial character development, and even the actor Mark Hamill didn't agree with how Luke Skywalker developed in this movie. Not only that, I mean, like Episode 7 built up and tried teasing us the question, who is Rey? What is her backstory? And this movie, it just says, oh, her parents sold her for drinking money, and so on and so forth. To me, it's like, with episode 7, they established one thing, but then it got passed on to a different director to kind of do whatever they want with it, so this one I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, I mean, definitely not A, definitely not B. I'll do this actually. Now, Solo is in C tier. I mean, honestly, this is a movie I've only watched once myself. Even though I've now kind of ranked this one higher than this one, I mean, even though I've seen Last Jedi several times, I mean, Solo, I mean, I think it's a good time. I mean, it's the same thing with Rise of Skywalker. Like, I've only seen it once in the theater. I'm not sure why I have not sought out a rewatch of this movie, but I did enjoy it when I watched it in the theater, and looking back, I mean, I'd say, yeah, I enjoyed it. Whereas with Last Jedi, I mean, like I said several times already, not sure what to feel about it. And then Rise of Skywalker, I just don't really care for it. And well, that's why it's in C tier. I enjoyed it when I watched it in the theater, even though I've only seen it once. Rogue One is also C tier. So, I've watched this a few times, but not over and over again. I think it's a good time, and I like seeing more of Darth Vader. So, really all I have to say about Rogue One. Now, episode 1, let's see, do I want to put it, I think I'll put it B tier actually, because for a long time before the sequel trilogy, like the Disney trilogy, this was my least favorite Star Wars movie for a long time, but strangely enough, I still watch it sometimes today. It's not often, but I get more of an urge to watch this one, more so than all these. Even though my younger self found this one very slow, like a real slow movie if I'm being honest, like I wanted some more of that Star Wars action, and well, I did watch it with subtitles last time to make sure I followed the plot, because I mean, the storyline is very in one ear and out the other for me. And well, it is a little convoluted, the plot. It also continues in episode 2. The fact that I still watch this makes it in B tier. Yeah, I mean, episode 7, I would rank this one higher. In fact, this was in my top 5 Star Wars movies for a while, but maybe it's because of the huge amount of hype surrounding this movie, and I was certainly excited for it, and well, the hype continued on, but the reason why, like, in fact, I would have put this in A tier, but now it's a little lower looking back because, well, it's mainly because of how these panned out. Like, while I do think episode 7 is the one I actually enjoyed from the sequel trilogy, it's a little less appealing to re-watch now because of how these pan out, if that makes sense. Harder to watch the beginning of just the beginning of a story when the rest don't really pan out quite like I hoped, basically. I still think it's a good movie, but maybe it was too much, like, maybe it's too much on the safe side as well. Episode 2, I'm gonna put in B tier. I mean, a lot of people did not think too highly of episode 2 for a long time, I remember. I'm not sure what people think of the movie now. I do enjoy it, even though the last time I watched it, I noticed more so then that it was a setup for the Clone Wars, only to fast forward to the end of the story arc with episode 3. Therefore, we have a bit of a Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories situation. But it is a bit entertaining to me because you start seeing how Anakin started walking down the path to the dark side. Now moving up to A tier. So yeah, episode 3 is a good movie. People like to criticize the prequel trilogy for a long time before the Disney movies came about, but I thought episode 3 was pretty good, like definitely the best movie of the prequel trilogy, I would say. In fact, it was my favorite one, the Star Wars. It was my favorite one for a while, but that was probably because it was new at the time. But it may not be my favorite now, but it is still in my top 5. Okay, so well, this certainly got predictable now, didn't it? In case you haven't noticed, I've been going up the list from what is, in my opinion, the worst and the best. Worst to the best, rather. And well, I still haven't talked about these 3 yet. I mean, what can I say? These are the movies everyone likes, but one that is almost S tier but not quite there yet is Return of the Jedi is still A tier, but you know, I really liked how this movie was wrapped up. Like Anakin Skywalker redeemed himself in the end. Yeah, everything came full circle nicely. It is capable of S tier, but thing is, I like these 2 movies more. In the later editions, I did not like the CGI monsters that were added in Jabba the Hutt's lair, and well, later versions, ugh. And then nothing against Hayden Christensen rather, but it still should have been Sebastian Shaw's actor with the Force Ghost, because changing him out is flat out disrespectful to the original actor, even though James Earl Jones voiced Vader. Alright, now we move up to the S tier, the cream of the crop, peak Star Wars, definite 10 out of 10 movies, starting with the original movie, A New Hope. It's definitely a close second favorite for me, and for the year it came out, I am super impressed with how well this movie's aged. I am jealous of people that got to experience this movie when it first came out in the theater. I mean, I bet that was epic. But anyway, now we got my favorite Star Wars movie. Heck, hands down, this is actually my favorite movie of all time. Empire Strikes Back. I mean, I like the story development, the variety of set pieces and scenery, so on and so forth. I mean, it's just a flat out great movie. What else can I say? I mean, okay, if I do a movie review on it, then I'd probably have more to say, but I am Din's Meteorite, and if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and take care.